What's up, everybody? Peace. Welcome to Info Media Reacts. Thank you, everybody. Those of you that are coming into the chat room tonight, those of you that are coming in or watching in the clouds, I definitely appreciate that. I kind of like these Saturday night late shows. Basically, tonight is going to be a very interesting night, as you already know. I did a video, what was it, last week or this past week? As many people have delved into this issue around Luke Campbell and the things that he had to say when he got on his Twitter spaces, and he called a lot of people out. In particular, he called out Tariq Nasheed, as you know. He went after Rizza Islam, saying to Rizza Islam that he was not a true Muslim, or he was not a real follower of Minister Louis Farrakhan. Rizza got up on the Twitter space to defend the man that he follows and the man that he supports in the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, saying that he heard his name being said 56 to 60 times. And of course, Luke, like a cartoon character, Luke began to become, in my estimate, very, very disrespectful in the way he went about talking to various people. Now, I said in my other video that I felt he did the same thing that he was accusing everybody else of doing. His whole thing is that FBA is dividing the black community. He doesn't like the idea of black Americans delineating himself, and he went into this tirade about who was black, and when and then he, of course, he went after Yvette Carnell, who is ADOS. She explained to him very intelligently that this is not about whether a person's black. She's focusing heavily on lineage. And he kept saying, well, he kept using Minister Louis Farrakhan as the barometer, as well as a Malcolm X. We know that Malcolm X's father is a black American. He has lineage to this land, to this soil, as it relates to what black people went through from slavery into Reconstruction, black codes, and of course, the Jim Crow era. So we know that he has that. Yes, his mother is from Grenada. I did some research. His mother is from Grenada. And so he still has a connection to being ADOS, foundational, whatever suits you just fine. Luke went after folks, and there was a backlash against him all over the social media streets. We all did videos. We all called him out. Luke was demanding that Tariq come up to the Twitter space because he's the leader of FBA. Although Tariq denies that and says he's nobody's leader, but yet we know that a lot of people do follow him, and we know that people do take a lot of what he says to heart. And so I think that Luke miscalculated. As you can see him, pretty funny picture to the left of me. I think Tariq had made this on his thumbnail. It's pretty goofy. I want to thank those that have come into the chat room. I see we have Alicia, everybody that's coming in, DJ Green. Just sit back, have a drink, relax. I've got a lot to cover tonight, and I think you will get something out of this program tonight. Luke Campbell came with the smoke, or at least he thought he was bringing smoke to everybody. And the smoke ended up reversing back on him. Okay. I think the disrespect that he engaged in, I thought it was disrespectful just as much as he wanted to claim that people that were FBA or ADOS were being disrespectful. And it was this whole issue, like I said before, about who's black and who's not black, when it was clearly defined that, yes, a person, someone like Kamala Harris, some people can identify her or say that she's black, but she can't claim the lineage of someone that's FBA or ADOS. That's all we're saying. That's all people have been saying. Okay. And Luke made this a political situation, which he kept telling black men. That picture cracks me up, everybody. He kept telling black men to come on back to the Democratic Party, to come on back, come on back. And I'm here to expose Luke Campbell for the hypocrite that he is, because he's already been exposed by someone who knows him well. And let me put this up here. Luke Campbell, you're going to be exposed tonight. I'm going to expose you. And a man that knows you very well is going to expose you as well. And that's Brother Marquis. I want to say, may Brother Marquis rest in peace. Unfortunately, he has passed away. In doing my research, it's unfortunate that this man has passed away. I'm 54 myself, going on 55. Brother Marquis, I believe he passed away at the age of 58. So black men, we definitely got to be on top of our health. Brother Marquis, a pioneer in the LIKE crew, rapper, died at 58. The Miami hip hop group drew controversy in the 80s and 90s for explicit filled tracks. Says here, Brother Marquis of LIKE crew, 2010 hip hop honors on June 3rd. On this picture right here that you see on that article that I pulled up, let me put the big one up here. That's the picture of the brother on the article. This was back in 2010 at the hip hop honors, June 3rd, 2010, in New York is where this took place. Brother Marquis. Really, he's going to light it up. I'm going to play some clipped videos from him. We're going to analyze it, everybody. He has really exposed Luke Campbell. That's his real name. I'm not going to call him no damn Uncle Luke. Finish with that. He's no uncle of yours. He's no uncle of mine. He's a hypocrite. He's going to go after the ADOS and the FBA movement. Creates a Twitter space where he pretty much disrespects everybody. I mean, Rizza Islam came up there respectfully to speak, and he, like a cartoon character, he disrespected him. Rizza Islam came up there, was very respectful, and say what you will about Yvette Carnell. I thought she was very respectful, but everybody kept cutting her off as well. And it was just ridiculous. I'm here to expose Luke because he is a liar. He tells black people that we should not support the Republican Party, which I don't support the Republican Party, and I don't support the Democratic Party. Republican Klan, Democrats, they're one and the same, of one bird with two wings. I don't support them. Don't care for them. You get screwed with either party that you deal with. But Luke Campbell is a hypocrite. We're going to expose him. This man has been called out by his own family, his own kids. Even Brother Marquis has said himself that he has caught Luke allegedly putting his hands on women in disrespectful manners. I'm going to get to that tonight. The hypocrisy of that tonight. as Brother Marquis is going to explain and expose him, and I'm going to expose him as well with the materials that I have. Luke is telling black people that we should be down with the Democratic Party. He's a hypocrite, and I'm going to show you that tonight. Let's go into the, I want to go into the reaction studio so that we can look at the first video of this man's hypocrisy very clearly. So let's do that right now. I appreciate everybody coming over tonight. I know it's late across the country, but we're going to have a great time tonight, everybody. So stick with me. Don't go nowhere because you're going to get a lot out of this. What's going on, X Freeman? Black Anonymous, I'm glad you came over. Let's get at it. Here is his first hypocrisy. Check this out. This is how this whole thing started, with him telling black men to do this.
Message to all black men who left the Democratic Party for the MAGA party.
Now, I hate what he's saying right here. How does he know that black men left? Well, he's saying to black men who left the Democratic Party for the MAGA party. There's a lot of black men who left the Democratic Party and they don't even mess with the Republican Party, meaning they don't like both parties. There's black men out here that are independents, but this man is sitting up here telling black men to come on back. And I'm going to show you tonight his hypocrisy and telling black men, and we're exposing this man tonight.
I'm going to offer you this one-time opportunity to come back. You can come back. You have until Sunday, 12 high noon.
So now he's giving black men an ultimatum that you have to Sunday high noon to bring your butt back to the Democratic plantation. Who is Luke to be telling black men what they should do when you know that this man has an ugly history of shady business, of ripping off his artists, people that engage with him back in the day in those 80s and 90s? This man has a history of horrible things as it relates to Brother Marquis and many members, whether it be MC, Shy D, this brother right here. How many of you out there remember MC Shy D, who I believe took this man to court, damn near bankrupted him, I believe. He's the reason people are saying that Luke had to give up the record company, the label that he ran. He was shady. And let me also let you know that Luke Campbell had no talent. It was the talent of brothers like Marquis, Fresh Kid, mr.mixx. These are the men who make up the talent of that group. Luke Campbell has no talent. Yeah, he got caught up in his Born in America, where he sampled that lyric. But Luke Campbell, out of everybody in this group, is not the talented one. It is this brother right here, mr.mixx. Not Luke Campbell, who has the talent. He was sort of the front man or the manager of the group, but he tries to take a lot of credit for things that he didn't create because it was Brother Marquis who has already told us before he passed away that he is the one, ladies and gentlemen, who wrote most of the songs. He's sort of like the Ice Cube of Two Live Crew, the way Ice Cube was with NWA. He wrote the songs. He was the man that made it all come together. Let's continue with this man trying to give black men an ultimatum to run back to the Democratic plantation.
We'll take you back. We'll take you back. There's no more blue, no matter who. It's come on, yeah, bang, bang. Come on, yeah, bang, bang. Coach.
You hear this nonsense from this man? Now, while he is caping for the Democratic Party, and don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of Donald Trump or whatever the hell you want to call it. I'm not a fan of him or the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. Both these groups, both Kamala and Trump, are trying to get themselves in this White House. And if you didn't know, this house that you're seeing on the screen right here, ladies and gentlemen, was built by black slaves. It was built by the FBA, the ADOS people. It was built by black people who have lineage to this land. That's the difference. Kamala Harris does not come from that background. Let's keep it real. Kamala Harris, by all means, ladies and gentlemen, Kamala Harris, as I want to take that off of there, Kamala Harris' background, as you already know, but let's break it down some more. Her mother is Raman Indian. She comes from a high class, right? Her mother came to this country because lineage-based black people in America made things possible during the civil rights movement to change the laws. In 1965, you had the Voters' Right Act that opened up the door for them to make a law to allow people to come over from other countries to be able to become citizens. I know that someone is going to leave a comment in this video and say, well, people have been coming over here since the 18. Yes, you've always had people from different countries that came over. They weren't necessary citizens with all rights given to them. They couldn't vote. They mainly came over just to work. 1965, they made it possible for people to actually not only come over, but to get full citizenship. When you look at someone like Marcus Garvey, who came over here and tried to encourage black people to go to Africa, he ran the largest organization at that time, but yet he never went to Africa himself, which I find very interesting. Marcus Garvey was not a citizen. He was able to come over here, but he wasn't a citizen of the United States, which made it easy for them to boot him out of here. I'm saying this because this is what Luke doesn't understand. He fails to understand. And another thing that I want to say, I have a brother on these YouTube streets by the name of Brother Sanchez. He has a hell of a channel, Brother Sanchez. And I heard him do a video where he talked about the hypocrisy of Luke Campbell, because he said, if you go to Florida, right? If you go to Miami, Florida, he said that Florida is one of the most segregated cities or states in our country. You've got Haitians, you've got black people from Cuba down there, and they all segregate themselves and they all delineate themselves based on their culture and the flag that they come from. It's a fact. You have the white Cubans who don't even want to mess with the black Cubans. The Haitians have their own little community, and they deal with Haitians and speak their language, and they delineate and say, they don't say that they're black, they say that they're Haitian. You have the Jamaicans that come to Florida, same thing. They have their flag, they have their language, they delineate to their language. So when Luke makes these notions about, oh, you just dividing black people up, you come from a place where they already divide black people. You've been living and playing music down there where black people are already divided based on culture, history, language, flag, where they come from, and their lineage. In Florida is a hotbed of it, just like New York. Just like New York is a hotbed of this same manifestation, y'all. So Luke is a liar when he acts like he doesn't understand how people delineate when he comes from a place where they do nothing but delineate. Tell me I'm wrong. I dare you, everybody. This is how it all started. Let's go back to the original video in which he disrespected folks like Yvette Cardell, ADOS, Brother Rizza Islam, Tariq. Say what you will, whether you, I know there's people who don't like Tariq. There's people who like him, people that support him and don't support him. You've got a right to feel and do how you want. But Luke Campbell is nobody to be calling anybody out when this man has so much dirt. This man has done so much dirt to people. This man has been shady in his business practices in the music business. This man is shady with women, allegedly putting hands on women. And you have his children who have come out and called him out, his own kids who have called him a deadbeat. We're going to get to that. But this is the video right here. They got everybody sort of, you know, what is Luke saying here? How dare he say these things?
That's a group of black men, and most of them hang out on Twitter. Tariq Nasheed.
Oh my God. I do not like him.
You know,
I swear, I feel like he's an agent. An agent.
Yeah. At the end of the day, they get on there, they fool these people with these doctors and these books and all that, and they try and separate the black community. Mind you, here's the guy who's talking about descendants of slaves, you know, married to a white lady.
Now, this man is wrong. Tariq Nasheed, as I already said in previous videos, he's not married to a white woman. His wife is biracial. The mother is white. So sometimes if you're gonna try to call people out, Luke, you should actually have your information correct. Okay. But this is the crazy thing, because someone left this message for me. In the other video that I did about this issue here. And I think I want to talk about this right here. Now, let's say Tariq Nasheed was married to a white woman, right? But he's not married to a white woman. His wife is biracial. She's black. Her mother's white. And we have plenty of black people in the black community who have those characteristics. But this is the thing that someone left a message for me, and I didn't think about this the first time. But here you got Luke Campbell, who has the audacity to talk about who Tariq Nasheed is married to, but he's got it wrong. But yet he's telling black people to support a woman who is also married to a white man. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Tell the truth.
On the one hand, he wants to call Tariq Nasheed out, but he got it wrong. But at the same time, he's telling you to support a candidate who is not even married to a black man. She doesn't get in the bed with a black man at night. She used a black man in San Francisco, that would be Willie Brown, to get where she needed to get, meaning she used his resources, his support that he gave her to help her rise politically, right? But she has a white husband. So if you're going to say that someone, how y'all supporting Tariq Nasheed, for those people that support Tariq Nasheed, because I try to be a man that uses common sense and critical thinking skills. I'm going to say it again. There's no leader like a Malcolm X, okay? Nobody's going to touch him. There'll never be a Malcolm X, and that's the only man that I would follow if this man was alive today, okay? Okay? That's the truth.
Tell the truth.
But he's going to go after Tariq about who he is married to, which he got wrong. But at the same time, Kamala Harris is married to a white man. So what would be the difference? Do y'all get where I'm coming from here? Put sevens in the chat room. What would be the difference, Luke? Your logic doesn't make sense because you're asking black men to come back to the Democratic Party and support a woman of mixed race. She's biracial. And you're telling us to support her when this is the bottom line. You shouldn't support anybody if they can't tell you what their policy is for you. You got Plies, dumb butt, telling black folks, "Oh, why y'all asking? Let's play Plies' goofy butt real quick before I get deep into some of this. Let's just get into Plies just real quick. Hear some of his chuck mouth talk. This is Plies. right? Right. These entertainers, these trumpet players, as Malcolm X talks about, these entertainers trying to be our leaders and tell us what to do. You see, listen to this chuck mouth.
Real quick. But to everybody who, especially the ones who look like me, and the men who look like me, who quit the, she Kamala want my vote, she need to explain herself to me.
Boom. If Kamala wants our vote, she should explain herself to you. That's what you should always ask a politician. Anytime a politician wants your vote, because they're supposed to work for you, and if someone works for you, then you have the right to ask them, what do I get from my vote, and what do I get out of it? Now, this man sits up here and says that black people don't have anything to say when it comes to white people, white politicians. That's a damn lie. Because when Biden ran for president the first time, a lot of black people, a lot of black men in particular, were saying, what do we get from Biden? And we had people like Clyburn and many others raccooning around to get that man in office, and yet we still were wondering, what do we get? And we didn't get anything. And then I have people that leave me messages about, well, the Chinese, the Asian community had lobbyists and things of that nature and advocate groups. Black people, we've got advocate groups too. They're supposed to be called the Congressional Black Caucus. What are they doing for us? They're in the government. They're supposed to be our advocates. And we're not getting any avocation. We're not getting anything. And we have black people on the outside in the community who do lobby and say, hey, this is what the black community needs. But the problem that's different from us in the Asian community and any other community is that when we want something and we have people that lobby for us, we're simply told, you just need to wait. Just wait till we get elected. Oh, you just need to wait because we got to have a study to determine whether you can get reparations. We got to have a study. Just be patient, be patient. And then we get these same black do-nothing politicians who tell us the same thing. Be patient, be patient. And when we ask questions specific to ourselves, they tell us, oh, well, we're going to help people of color, people that are marginalized. They put everybody else in the bag with us when we're talking about us. Asian people, nobody's telling Asian people when they want something, they need a study, they need to wait. It's just us. So Plies is a fool. We don't need entertainers telling us things.
What she gonna do for the black people? Listen, stop asking a motherfucking black woman.
See, he can't even talk without every word in his mouth. He's saying, stop asking a effing black woman what they gonna do for you when you don't ask the white we do ask what we do demand of white politicians. We gave Obama a break. We were told to be cool. Don't give Obama pressure. He gonna do all these things in his second term, and we got nothing. Matter of fact, black home ownership went down under Obama. So we are tired of just all this hope crap. We want real action. So Plies, get your knuckle butt out of here. Just get out of here, man. You're goofy, and you're pushing on the same stuff as Luke.
To explain themselves to you, or explain themselves to you.
This man is silly. Let's go back over here. I want to get to another video, and so that video that I played earlier with Luke Campbell going after Tariq and Rizza Islam and Yvette Carnell, and he kept going back and forth about, well, what about Farrakhan? And it was already explained to this knucklehead that Farrakhan and Malcolm X are respected because of their works. They have done things in a community that has benefited black people. The question we're asking is, what has Kamala Harris done within her time in politics as a prosecutor, as an attorney general of California? What has she done that has simply benefited black people in general? If you can't tell us that, then you can't tell us a damn thing about how we should vote and how we should feel.
Tell the truth.
And that's just the facts. Let's get at it right now. Do you see the face right here, this brother? It's a frustrating face. right? Because we're trying to get what we should get, but we keep getting BS'd around by everybody every time. Let's play this. This is how we're going to open this up today. Now, this is why Luke is a hypocrite, y'all. He tells black people to come back to the Democratic Party. He tells black people, oh, you're a part of these groups like ADOS and FBA, and they're dividing the black community. And why y'all talking down the Democratic Party and blah, 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 blah. This man, not too long ago, back in 2016, this man was talking just like we've been talking about it. What changed, Luke? Let's look at his some of his tweets, his old social media tweets. Check this out, y'all. Check this out. Luke Campbell. This is his Twitter, or his X as it's called now. He said this. Read it, everybody, with me. African Americans get nothing from the Democratic Party. All they do is use us for our vote. Now, Luke, how did you go from that? Now you're talking like us, but now you flipped it to be telling black folks who we should be voting for, when not too long ago you said, Luke, out of your own funky mouth, that you wasn't down with the Democratic Party. Y'all see the hypocrisy? That's really from his Twitter. When it was Twitter, now it's X, right? Whatever the hell we call it. I still call it Twitter. Check this out. Let's pop this back up here. Luke Campbell, his Twitter page, he says this: I'm with Trump on this one. The Democratic Party don't give a damn about black people. Welcome to the Luke Records. He put this out on 8/28/16 at 10:13 a.m. So it sounds like this man was a supporter of Trump at one point in time, because he's sitting up here saying that he agrees with Trump. And I'm not saying that I agree with Trump, because I don't like the man. I don't like his history. I know his history very well. I know that there were other Democrats in New York that did horrible things to the Central Park Five. I'm going to be doing a show on the Information Man show tomorrow, or either Monday, where I'm going to break out some receipts, because it is true, when Tariq talks about that, it is true that you had a Democratic prosecutor who actually tried to sue Netflix over that When They Look at Us movie about the Central Park Five. Believe it or not, she's the one that prosecuted them, as well as you had the Mayor Cox of New York. So it was Democrats involved, but Trump contribute too with his $85,000 page ad, and Trump contribute as well, because let's keep this in mind. Trump wasn't a lawyer. Trump wasn't a politician, but he was very much part of the Democratic atmosphere in New York. Okay, so he was just as responsible indirectly, I would say, as all those other players involved. And I'll be talking about that on my other channel very soon. But Luther sounds like he was with Trump, that he supports it. You see, right there, right here, he says African Americans get nothing from the Democratic Party. All they do is use us for our votes. But then you flipped it and say that you agreed with Trump, that the Democratic Party don't give a damn about black people. So how did it change from that, Luke? I'm trying to figure out, how did it change from that, Luke, to you saying this type of crap to us? I'm just going to play this one more time, or just a little bit of it.
Message to all black men who left the Democratic Party for the MAGA party. I'm going to offer you this one-time opportunity to...
This man is a damn hypocrite. What the hell is going on with him telling black men to come back? Too long ago. Well, not too long ago, this man, as I showed you the receipts, was talking about the Democratic Party don't give a damn about black people, that he agreed with Trump, the whole 9 yard. This is the hypocrisy of this man. Let's move into some other areas of the hypocrisy of this man real quick. Let's go into Tariq Nasheed breakdown, and the breakdowns that Tariq Nasheed is talking about in this video, I'm gonna now show you the receipts of Brother Marquis breaking it down in his own voice. Here we go. Okay, we're gonna go and we're gonna make it happen, everybody. Check this out.
And the thing is, dude, you got a history of being accused of ripping off your foundational Black American artist. If we're going to be...
Now, I want to stop right there. Tariq is absolutely correct. Most of the artists, and particularly the 2 Live crew, and guys like mr.mixx, and guys like MC Shy D, and even guys like this brother right here, 2 Live crew co-founder, Fresh Kid Ice, died at 53. Christopher Wong, credited as the first promoter of Asian rap. Here he is. He's not foundational like us, but what I'm basically saying is that Tariq is right. Most of the people that he ripped off and took advantage of are Black artists that were foundational. And then another thing that I found out listening to Brother Marquis is that most of these brothers, other than Luke, they all came from the West Coast. They left the West Coast and went to Florida. They were not natives of Florida. They were West Coast brothers. And we're going to hear Marquis get into the difficulties around that issue of them being West Coast, because Luke Campbell did not like the West Coast, did not like West Coast rappers. He was very jealous of people like Ice-T, very jealous of people like NWA, Dr. Dre. When Dr. Dre dropped The Chronic, very jealous of him. And Brother Marquis said that he believed that Luke had a problem with them because of that. And I believe Brother Marquis was new to the group because he replaced someone, and he said that he never liked Luke, and he felt that Luke never liked him or those in the group. And he said that he felt like Luke was just looking at them as like, I'm going to use y'all like hoes. I'm going to get over on you.
Tell the truth.
I'm going to use you, manipulate you, get you under these contracts. And I'm gonna do like that all-time classic movie, The 5 Heartbeats. What are my office hours? They're 9 to 5. And it wasn't Luke Campbell's talent. It was a talent of those that he used. That man has no talent. Let's continue here with Tariq.
Real, Brother Marquis talked about how you ripped them off all the time. H-Town talked about how you ripped them off.
H-Town.
Dino Shazam and G.I. That's one of my favorite groups. Loved H-Town. They were saying how you screwed them over. Another artist, you got Lorenzo. I think he was saying the same thing. My homeboy, MC Shy D, that's my homie. That's why your record label got taken, because Shy D sued you because you were jerking him over. Shy D is my guy. So if Shy D makes an accusation, there's some merit to it. There's some merit to that. You understand? So Luke is mad because we're not listening to his mush mouth gibberish. Yeah? Yeah, shout out to Poison Clan and JT Money and those dudes. Weren't they complaining at one point? Yeah? Yeah, we don't need mush mouth tethers just exploiting things. We don't need that. We don't need mush mouth tethers.
What do you think so far? Do you agree with what Tariq is saying? Do you agree? This man is mush. I believe he is mush mouth. He's always been a mush mouth all the way back to his younger years in the group. He was a mush mouth. What do you all think about that? Put sevens in the chat room if you agree that Luke is a mush mouth. Let me know.
Others coming in trying to exploit.
Okay. What do you all think about that? Let me know. Very interesting the way Tariq breaks it down. Now everything that Tariq said, I'm going to reinforce with the man himself, Marquis, is going to break it down. But as a reminder, as a public service to you, y'all need to hear Malcolm X one more time.
I just told you a little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the black community by the white community, and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear. I just told you a little while ago.
Now, I want to shout out Pepe. I see Pepe in there. What's going on, brother? Much respect to you. I got nothing but respect for you. I respect people. My position is no matter where people come from, their culture, I respect them. If they respect me, I give them respect in return. That's just what it all boils down to. But I have to get on Luke because Luke is not the right person to try to come out and criticize people when the man has a dirty, shady business background. He has a real dirty background, and we're going to expose that. You heard Malcolm X talk about how we can't have entertainers trying to be our leaders and speaking for us. White folks don't have this. I played this in the last other video that I did. I hope you get where I'm coming from here. But when he talks about clowns, look at Tone Luke here with the women. Remember, he exploited black women. And of course, black women exploited themselves at this time, trying to get on in the entertainment industry. And of course, Luke Campbell had no problem with exploiting the rump shaker, right? And the booty popping that we see today, which he's contributed to in so many ways. All right. And this man has no problem, has no shame about it. As you see her rump shaking there, that is that's brought to you by this man right here, Luke Campbell. And the women, they exploited themselves as well. But at that time, everybody was breaking into the entertainment business, and they had no problem doing what they did. There is Luke in his younger years. This is the garbage that he brought to us: the booty shaking, the very nasty lyrics, and what have you. Look at that, very nasty lyrics and the way he carried on the music. And let me just bust everybody's bubble that you guys know that Brother Marquis never did like this type of music. He said in the interview that I'm going to play for you, some of the interview. Unfortunately, he was on the Vlad TV program, and I don't like DJ Vlad's show. I think we should not support it, but unfortunately, so many rappers have gone on there and have said so many things. In this case, he was on that particular program. I wish he would have went on the Art of the Dialogue. I like that brother's channel better, the Art of the Dialogue. But anyway, Brother Marquis said that he never, as I said before, when he got to Florida, when he got to the state of Florida, Miami, the whole thing, the beach and everything, he said he never liked Luke, and he felt that Luke never really cared for him either because he was new to the group. And he's going to break that down. But most importantly, Brother Marquis said that he wanted to be more of a conscious rapper. He wanted to rap the way they rap in the East Coast, that he really wasn't feeling that good with the profanity in the music. But he said once the music took off and everybody seemed to like it, he kind of went with it. Now, to Luke's credit here, he did put out a post when Brother Marquis passed away. Here it is. My condolences goes out to the family of Brother Marquis and so many of his fans from around the world. After learning his passing, we took on so many fights for the culture, made great music together, something that I would never forget. We had recently got back together to take on. This is the thing. He's not being honest here because Brother Marquis in the interview said he wanted nothing to do with, he didn't want to F with Luke anymore. And the way he's writing this, you would think that he gave the man respect when he was alive. But you wait until the man passes away to all of a sudden want to say, oh, we're going to get back together and all these different things, and it didn't come to fruition. You disrespected the man when he was alive, Luke. And you cheated him out of money, Luke, or you tried to cheat him out of money and many others, allegedly. As I go on in this podcast, there was an article that was put out. And the article is in The Wiz, 101.1 The Wiz. I think this is a radio station. This is their website. There was news and gossip that came out that Uncle Luke was accused of being a deadbeat dad. And then his daughter expressed how she felt. And I'm going to put that post up so you can see what she had to say right here. Check this out. Luke Campbell, that's his daughter, who appeared on her dad's VH1 show. Luke had a parent advisor show. She said that everything that you saw on the show and the way he was trying to be all fathery was not how he really is in real life. Okay, the VH1 show, Luke's parental advice, says that among other things, he's a horrible father who physically abused her. Physically abused her. Wow, this is terrible right here. If this is all true. This is alleged by the daughter that he was a horrible father who physically abused her mom. That's terrible if that's true, that he did that. That he would physically abuse her mother. She also went on to say he doesn't even acknowledge his own kids. That's not good if this is true. This is being alleged by the daughter, Luke Campbell. How many of you all were aware of this? Put sevens in the chat room if you heard about this. You heard rumblings about problems within his family structure. She goes on to say this. Luke used to beat my mom. Oh, my God. A woman beater, a abuser. Yep, that was him. He even shot her in the, oh my God. The daughter is claiming that Luke shot, allegedly, I gotta say that, allegedly shot the mother. This is crazy if this is true. He used to beat her and beat her down so she couldn't even move and walk. At the age of 3, he kicked me and my mom out of the house. We have 5 brothers and sisters, and he only claimed one of us. This is crazy, y'all. If this man did these things, this is alleged. I'm going to say it again for the purpose of legal purposes. This is alleged by the daughter. I don't know if it's a complete fact, but it was confirmed that the daughter came out and said this, and you never know what could be happening in a family. How many of you have heard this story? I think we got Shirley. I see you coming in. How many of you are aware of this? Put sevens in the chat room. And someone says that's horrible. Someone says I always have respect for Hollywood kids because they get abused. Yeah, they do get abused. It is a shame if this is true. What her alleged allegations are, it's a shame if it's true. I've got to get to these videos with Marquis very soon for the sake of time, because I know it's late. My man Let me see what my man Pepe is saying here. Signal Crop, no one blamed Buster or Fat Joe. Those artists just got old and ain't putting no more music out, just like Benny Siegel. Yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that.
Tell the truth.
You're right about that. Let me see. Signal, Brother Signal Cummins says, I always have respect for Hollywood kids because they go, yeah, they get abused. We got, let's see. Let me see. Black Americans made Buster, not his fellow Caribbeans. Sister Marie said that. Let me see. Let me come in here. These, you know, this thing is, Linda Hicks comes in with the 7. A lot of people seem to have heard about this. Miss Shirley, what's going on, Shirley? You're also, if I'm not mistaken, you also are a mod on my sports channel, the Prime Sports Media channel. Check it out, y'all. For those of you, if you like following Coach Prime and what's happening at Colorado with that program, check out my sports program. That channel's popping over there too. That is Prime Sports Media. Thank you very much, everybody. Let's get back on track to where we are here, and I appreciate everybody that's coming in the chat room, that's speaking to each other. Be as respectful as you can, everybody, please, because I don't want people fighting each other in the chat room. Just be respectful as you possibly can, because I don't want people, you know, like I said again, fighting in the chat room against each other, because this is the man who needs to be called out and needs to be exposed. So let's go into the first video with Brother Marquis. Y'all need to hear this. I need to get to those videos because of the sake of time, and it's late across the country. And let's go into that first video and let y'all hear what that brother has to say here. Check it out.
Yeah. Mr.MIXX left. I always told
mr.mixx is this brother right here that he's talking about. Mr.MIXX. Eventually, at first, mr.mixx was down with Luke, and he saw how Luke was dirty, and eventually he had to part ways from Luke. Okay, that's kind of how it happens. Just so you know, every now and then I may have to. I will have to stop the video and add commentary, because when you have copyright material, to do a proper reaction, you must stop, make statements, play it, stuff like that. So keep that in mind, everybody.
Mix, you put me in the group. Whenever you leave, I'm gone.
Okay.
Yep.
And then you guys actually sued for royalties.
Yeah, we tried to sue for royalties. Not trying to go ahead of all of the questions that you have for me. But yeah, we tried to sue for royalties in some form or fashion. Luke promised Chinaman a solo album and probably gave him X amount of dollars to side with him, and that fucked up our case.
You hear that? Did you hear what he said? Brother Marquis made it very clear, simple and plain as day. He said we had a lawsuit against Luke because Luke was ripping him off. This man sets up here, gets on the Twitter spaces, the X spaces, tries to call out the FBA and the ADOS, and tries to call people out, keep talking about whether, Farrakhan is, if Farrakhan is accepted because of his deeds and what he does. Malcolm X is accepted because of his deeds. His deeds speak volumes. You judge a tree by the fruit that it bears, you see. But this man is sitting up here trying to call everybody out. He's got all kind of skeletons in his closet. He ripped off his own artists. How you gonna sit up here telling black folks on social media about we should jump on board with the Democratic Party and Kamala Harris, and claiming that certain people are dividing the community when you were dividing your damn group? You were disruptive towards your artists. You were disruptive towards your fellow black men who you ripped off. And you're now sitting up here telling us what we should be doing for this woman right here. I already caught you in a lie tonight, and I showed the receipts that you was rocking. You were against the Democrats at one point in time, and you was talking up Trump and saying how the Democrats wasn't going to do nothing for black folks. And then you get on Twitter space talking to, let's hear.
We were all supposed to be together suing Luke, but Chinaman stayed with Luke for some reason, and you know, bam, there it goes.
Right. And I think right around that time in 93, Ice-T had an album called Home Invasion. And there's a song on there called 99 Problems that you were on.
Brother Marquis is the original individual who wrote that song. It wasn't Ice-T. For so long, I thought it was Ice-T because Ice-T almost took credit for it, but Ice-T had to pay this man a royalty because he's the one that wrote the song, y'all.
That song did pretty well.
That's my song. That's my whole idea. That's my whole concept.
Okay.
Right.
Years later, Jay-Z ends up remaking that song.
Yeah.
But I guess the way your paperwork was set up, you never got any royalties for it.
Because out of good faith, Ice just, you know, he gave me a little something, but after he paid me, he fell out with me. You know, in the record business, I'm just finding out that if you sue a rapper for using some of your shit and it doesn't, you know, get taken care of properly, they take it as if you're snitching on them.
Did you hear what he just said? That in the music business at that time probably remains the same today, that if you call a person out for using your material, not paying you what they're supposed to pay you, they look at it as snitching because you're calling them out, and then they have a falling out with. I believe all this stuff is true. Sometimes I wonder if black people in general, hear me out, folks, sometimes I wonder if we really, truly like each other. I really do. You even have black people that get on these social media streams and they do what? They griff off of us. This is a shame. Let's continue.
So I didn't know that at that time, the Associated Press got a hold of what was going on. I think the lawyer that I had at that time, since it was such big names involved in the case, you know, maybe he wanted some promotions and he let it leak out. But
you're right. Luke is not coming back from this. He crashed out and he will not be coming back from this. You're absolutely right, everybody. I appreciate everybody in that chat room. And Signal says they don't care. My man Peppy says Info Media reacts. Everyone robbed each other. Let me put this, put up what you're saying here, brother. Let's put that up real quick. And Peppy says Info Media reacts. Everyone robs each other in music. Yeah, it's true. Everybody. I agree with that, but still, I just think that he's a hypocrite for coming into our spaces on social media, trying to call us out, while at the same time, he's got all kind of dirty stuff going on. Wait till you hear, I haven't even got to the good stuff with Brother Marquis yet. Wait till Marquis really go into the nastiness of this man. He says everyone robs each other in the music business. For example, you got Lil Wayne and Birdman called each other father. And yeah, it's crazy because they rip off. Or yeah, it's a part of the music business. And Brother Marquis here is going to explain that. Yeah, you're right, Peppy. It is a part of the business. But when, I'm going to say it again, when Luke has the type of reputation that he has no right to be coming to social media spaces where everyday working class black people come together. We don't need these celebrities telling us what we should do. And this man's got all types of skeletons in his closet, all types of nasty background. And allegedly he's got kids or a daughter saying that he's been a very nasty father, allegedly, and has done some things allegedly to the mother that sounds like domestic abuse. Allegedly, this is being alleged. Sounds like domestic abuse to me, but let's continue.
I was trying to keep all of that confidential, but anyway, it came out and blah.
All right, y'all. Let's go to the next video. Let's get to the next one right here, everybody. I hope everybody is doing fine. This is the music business is something else, just like Peppy said. It's a dirty, dirty, dirty business. It's always been a dirty business, right? What are my office hours? Welcome to Big Red Records. Welcome to, you know.
Welcome to Big Red Records. What are my office hours?
All right, everybody. Let's get right to it and let you see the next video. Here we go.
For MC Shy D, who, like you said in the beginning of the interview, had some big hits and some big albums. I guess he went to jail for a while, and when he got out, he was owed a bunch of royalties.
I don't know anything about Shadi's going to jail, but I know that the stuff that Shadi had going on with Luke was kind of before 99 Problems and Me and Ice-T.
Okay.
So I think that was before then.
Well, I think he had filed before then, but then ultimately in 94, that's when it finally went to trial, and MC Shadi won a $2.4 million judgment.
Okay.
Against Luke.
Right.
And I guess at the time, Luke didn't have that type of money.
Right. And at the time, that's where it appears that because of MC Shy D's lawsuit, that it appeared that Luke may have, at that point in time, been the beginning of the end of him maintaining his record company that they had at that time, because I guess it made him go bankrupt or whatever. But Brother Marquis is going to say, nah, this man's got money. He's always got money, but he lies about what he's got because he don't want to give you nothing. Let's hear it.
What? Yeah, well, Luke is always going to say he ain't got no money. I'm crying, trying to get some money from him. He crying not to pay me. So, you know how that is.
Well, yeah. And then at that point, things started to fall apart. I think Luke ends up firing Joe Weinberger.
Yeah, because he owed Weinberger some money.
I think around that time.
Wow. Woo. This is crazy stuff, y'all. Oh, man, if y'all like the show so far tonight, make sure you do a great thing and then just subscribe to the channel. I want to say thank you for watching so far. Like and comment, and definitely subscribe to the channel. Share this video on all your social media. I appreciate everybody that's come out tonight. We're not finished. Let's get back. Let's get to the next video here. This is some heavy stuff, and wow, let's hear some more.
They get off on it. Luke gets off on making people's lives miserable.
Boom. Brother Marquis said very clearly, he alleged, this is Brother Marquis, who alleges that Luke gets off on making people's lives miserable. This is what Brother Marquis has said while during the time that he was in Florida, out there in the Miami area. He said that Luke gets off on making people's lives miserable. Let's hear that one more time.
They get off on it. Luke gets off on making people's lives miserable as well. Loved it. And I don't mean to bash Luke or anything like that. Thought he was a great businessman. He was a great marketer at that time.
Now, he was a great marketer. I don't know if he was a great businessman, though, Brother Marquis. If he was cheating people out of money. No, he was a great businessman because he knew how to take money out of your pocket, and many others in the group and many other people that he put together, like the H-Town. He knew how to make sure that he got a lot of money and control. You know, what are my office hours? We're talking about Big Red Records. What are my office hours, man? What are the office hours? Let's continue.
Right there, but we just was in Florida fucking with Luke to get used, basically.
Did you hear what he just said? They were in Florida just to get used, to be effed by Luke, to be used. That's what he said. That's how he felt. This is crazy, y'all. Let's continue.
Basically.
If you are enjoying the program so far, put sevens in the chat room. Keep the algorithms cranking, everybody. I really appreciate that. I would say thank you.
Tell the truth.
Just used the shit out of us. And all he had to do on any interview or whatever is to say, yeah, I told the guys I loved them and we were brothers and I fucked them once I got him under contract. But
did you hear what Marquis said? That all Luke had to do was tell these brothers that he loved them until he gets them under contract, and then he F's them. Wow. Let's hear that again.
And all he had to do on any interview or whatever, is to say, yeah, I told the guys I loved them and we were brothers and I fucked them once I got them under contract. But basically, my gripe is I'm coming out after 35 years. You can say that I'm snitching or not or whatever, but I'm coming up after 35 years. That last thing that we did in Miami when they supposed to have a little piece of honoring Chinaman, I think it was for BET or whatever. I'm upset because Luke didn't handle that with class. Everybody was.
Now I want you all to hear what he's saying. When they, I don't know how many of y'all knew this, but he's revealing something here. When they had a BET, when they had the BET award show to honor Chinaman, he said that Luke Campbell dishonored the brother's memory because Luke was too busy trying to make it about himself. Making it about himself just in the way that he made it about himself when now he's talking about Mega Stallion and Cardi B and all these different women out here that are shaking it up, right? Like this, which I believe is putting out a negative image of black women that we do not need at all. And he's telling these women, these female artists today, y'all owe me some money. It's always about him. Y'all owe me some money. Come on, pay me some money. All of y'all, Cardi B, Mega Stallion, Sexy Red, y'all better check this out. This man is sick. Check this out.
I need a check from Ice Spice. I need a check from Sexy Red. All the fucking girls, Megan Thee Stallion, anybody that's running around shaking their ass. Male rap is on some shit right now. I'm sorry. The females are winning. They're doing everything that I did. I'm still waiting for these girls to send me a fucking check. I need a check from Ice Spice, who turned her around and drop it in like it's hot and doo-doo browning. I need a check from her. I need a check from Sexy Red. That red, my friend.
Everybody, this is the rants of a narcissistic dude. This man is crazy. He expects and thinks that these women owe him something because this man thinks that he created. You didn't rap, Luke. You weren't a good rapper. Luke, you didn't write the songs. It was Brother Marquis that wrote the songs. You ripped off every artist that was involved with you. You screwed them from the start to finish. You contribute to the degeneracy of our community with the music that you put out, that you produced, or that you were the manager of, and the degenerate booty dancing that you contribute to, man. This is why you're on this damn animal with a damn stomach sticking out, looking like you haven't had any food. This is crazy, y'all.
My man Stan, shouts out to Stan. Stan the man, I don't need a check from him. That's my dog.
You
That's
need a
his
check
record
from
company.
somebody.
All the girls, Megan Thee Stallion, anybody that's running around shaking their ass, talking about
Anybody that's running around shaking their butt.
On the
I've heard enough of this. Anybody that's running around shaking their butt like that, right? The man is crazy. All right. Let's get at it. Look, we need to have a better imagery for black women, right? We need to have black women that are intelligent, upright. We don't need to see black women in that way. I never like it. I'm not a big fan of the whole twerking anyway. But we need to have black women that have their self together. And we need black men, you know, because basically what Luke did at that time is he was exploiting and selling what always has sold in America, which is sex. And I'm going to say it again. Brother Marquis originally said that he did not feel comfortable with that type of music. He didn't really want to do that kind of music, but he got caught up in the, you know, in the fame and the excitement of what was going on. But he said he originally did not want to do this type of music. And you're going to hear him say that. But let's continue this.
Trick to go over there to help him honor Chinaman, as well as you know, Weinberger got the money from BET or whatever to license the song Me So Horny, but we all was supposed to go over there. But I didn't have a problem with Flo Rida and those guys, you know, doing Chinaman's parts because Flo Rida is real close to Chinaman. But at the same fucking time, you're supposed to be honoring this man, right? So Mr.MIXX comes and another associate of Little Joe's. So Luke and all of his people jump on Mr.MIXX, take the microphone from Mr.MIXX, live feed on TV.
How many of you remember what Brother Marquis is saying right here about, once again, like I said, Luke makes it all about himself. He's narcissistic. How many of y'all remember, put sevens in the chat room, if you remember that he got on the stage and took the mic from Mr.MIXX? We're talking about Luke Campbell getting on stage, taking the mic, making it about himself. How many of y'all remember this? Put sevens in the chat room if you all remember these very things happening. Let's continue.
Supposed to be honoring Chinaman and still took that whole situation and made it all about himself. So I'm upset at that.
What did I just say? Made it all about himself. What did I just say, ladies and gentlemen? Hit the sevens in the chat room. Let's continue.
Did get on YouTube and you cried and all of that and all of that. Yeah, that was fine and dandy. But when it came down to honoring Chinaman for some publicity, you turned that whole shit into a shit show and you took that and made it about yourself. That ain't cool. You've been lying for 30-something fucking years. This is not your music. You did not write all of the songs.
Boom. Didn't I just say that, folks, too? Brother Marquis is breaking it down, that he made it all about himself at that award show. He's always made it about himself. He took credit for music that he did not write, in some cases did not produce. He was just basically a pitch man, a businessman, you know, a front man and what have you. But he was not the main talent. But somehow we have grown up today and we've had this notion that when we think about the Two Lie crew, the first person that we think of, let's be honest, is this man you see on the screen, Luke. When in fact, it should not be him. It should actually be Brother Marquis. It was Brother Marquis and Brother Mr.MIXX. And Marquis said that it was this man who brought him into the game. It was this man you see on the screen who brought him into the group in the first place. And Luke never accepted him. You're going to hear him say these things. Let's continue.
You did not go to the Supreme Court by yourself. So I'll let you say that for a long fucking time. I'll let you have that because I don't even fuck with you, but.
He says he doesn't mess with him. Now, when we talk about the Supreme Court, we know that Luther Campbell drapes himself in the American flag when he won that case. Luther Campbell always makes it sound like it was him, that it was his hard work that won the case, when in fact it was the others in the group, but it's always centered around Luke. And we have this notion that it was Luke fighting against the Supreme Court to open up the opportunity for everybody to have the freedom of speech in their music, such as the Cardi B's, the Mega Stallions, the Sexy Reds, and all that he was hollering, talking about y'all owe me some money, when it wasn't him by himself. These brothers did their thing too. They wrote the damn music. So we got a man coming on social media spaces calling out those that are part of the FBA movement, those that are part of the ADOS movement, those that are saying on social media, hey, Kamala Harris, she's going to have to tell us what she's going to do for us if she wants to get our vote. Hey, the Democrats, what have they done for us? I don't know if I want to vote for her. I don't know if she really is really connected to us. Everybody has the right to question these things. But then we got people like Luke telling us to be quiet and just do what he do and telling black men, y'all got to noon to come on back to the Democratic Party, as if black people are all monolithic, like we don't all think alike. We all have different political ideologies. Some of us are socialists, some of us are liberal, real left-wing liberal, some of us are conservative, real serious, tight conservatives. Some of us don't believe in voting. Black people are rich, poor, in between, whatever. We're all different things. We're not all the same. But yet we've got a man, we got a dragon mouth man who's trying to tell us what we should do and trying to call out different groups that he doesn't agree with their ideology. But yet he's sitting up here. I know what you said, Pepe, that this is part of the music business where everybody rips everybody off. But this is not the man to be telling us in social media how to think, what to do, what groups that we want to associate with. He ain't the man to be telling us anything, because he didn't even treat his own so-called group members, or what he would say are his brothers. He didn't even treat them right when they were alive. Those that passed away.
Bruh, you're gonna have to put some respect on my dude's name. He didn't fucking die. He didn't die for nothing, even though he died with nothing. And you still over there trying to make a shit show off of this man's death.
Why did Chinaman die without nothing? Why is it that every person, it's almost similar, and then you got Luke who's talking about, you know, Puffy, right? Don't go to a Puffy party, y'all. Never go to a P. Diddy party. Never.
Tell the truth.
He's talking about Puffy, but think just like Puffy Combs, you're right, Pepe. Everybody gets ripped off in the music business. Puffy, all the people that were part of Bad Boy Records, a lot of them lost their money, had to rebuild themselves up again. Why is it that everybody that was associated with Luke Campbell, they're broke, they got all kind of issues financially, they got problems with their contracts, they can't get their royalties, allegedly, I'm alleging these things because these are the rumors that have been out there. Brother Marquis has allegedly said that as well. What's going on here?
By dishonoring him, and when they gave you a whole platform to honor him and you didn't.
Damn.
So I'm upset about that.
Crazy. This is crazy, y'all. This is some crazy stuff, y'all. I don't know how y'all feel about this, but this is crazy. What are y'all thoughts? What are you thinking in the chat room? This is crazy. I'm telling you, this is crazy at all. Get out. I got some few more videos before we end. Oh, wow. Yeah. I saw that video that in one of the Biggie Smalls videos, there was a transformer in one of those videos. In the Biggie Smalls video, I'm thinking about doing a reaction to that whole thing when I get an opportunity. That'll be an uploaded video. But yeah, in the Biggie, yeah. I think in that video, the brother was saying on the, the brother was saying that even back then they were trying to get black men to accept a certain lifestyle. And you could see it in that Biggie video that the person that we thought was a biological woman was a transformer. It's crazy. Yeah, transformer, sister. That's right. Okay, that's right, sister Marie. That's right. And we're living in those type of times where we got to make sure that if you are a man who's heterosexual and you like biological women, you got to make sure that you're getting what you're bargaining for, right? You're getting what you're bargaining for, right? Everybody has the right to their lifestyles, what have you, but you got to make sure what you're bargaining for. And I wonder, did Biggie and those on the set, did they know? And if they did know, did they just say, hey, I don't care, it look good to me? Hey, that needs further investigation there on that one. Wow. Interesting, y'all. Let's get back into the studio here. And let's check out another video because we're getting close to the conclusion. And here is another video for you. This one's going to be interesting, y'all. I appreciate everybody in the chat room. Make sure you hit the likes button. Hit the likes if you have not hit the likes. Share the video on your social media. If you got a cellular phone right now, if you're watching me on a cellular phone, a laptop, a tablet, or desktop, you can simply take your mouse or your hands, hit the button that says share, and send it to your Twitter right now and your Facebook. I really would appreciate that. Let's go for the next segment right here. Check this out.
Well, you said you didn't see any money off banned in the USA.
Heck no. Banned in the USA, I think like 14 million or some shit? Nope. And me and Luke actually were in.
Now the question you have to ask, why did Brother Marquis not see any money from the band in the USA. This is crazy. That was a big time song.
Into it when we were writing Band in the USA, because I didn't write that song. Those are not my lyrics. And I'm like, Luke, I got my own lyrics. And he's like, just do it. And, but at that time, I had got really tired of Luke, because I was never really too fond of Luke anyway, you know, and I don't mean to keep, you know, bringing this up, but when I first got to Miami and my bags were in the car, Luke, he was in there beating up his baby mother. So that
boom. Didn't I just say to you all that he said that when he first encountered Luke, that he was in the house or he was somewhere allegedly beating his baby mama? Didn't I just bring up this article from a radio station, The Wiz 101.1, Uncle Luke accused of being a deadbeat father? But didn't I just bring this up right here? Alicia Campbell, his daughter, who appeared on her daddy's VH1 show, where she said that he beat her mother, beat her badly to the point where she sometimes could not maybe move or what have you, that he was horrible, and that there were 5 kids and he didn't acknowledge but one child. She said Lucretia Campbell accused allegedly her father of being a beater of women and didn't give a damn allegedly about his own kids, allegedly. Did I just say that? And this man is now confirming from his eyewitness account what I had already mentioned.
Fond of Luke anyway, you know, and I don't mean to keep, you know, bringing this up, but when I first got to Miami and my bags were in the car, Luke, he was in there beating up his baby mother. So that wasn't cool with me, you know, and I didn't like that. And, you know, and just things that were going on, things that he was saying out of his mouth. Crazy. You know, these guys are green. They're from California. I'm going to use them. I'm going to cross them. I'm going to nail them to the cross.
Did you hear what he just said? Remember I said earlier that these members of the group in LIKE crew, they weren't from Miami. These brothers were from L.A. That's the skyline of L.A. They're from Los Angeles, California. You see it right there. Okay? They're from the city of angels. And you heard Marquis say out of his own mouth that when Luke encountered them, he looked at them as someone that, hey, these guys are green. They're from L.A. They're in Florida. I'm going to use them. I'm going to abuse them, get what I can out of them out here in this Miami, Florida environment. And he said it, that Luke thought that they were green and not smart to the game. And then once he got him out there in Florida, that he was going to take advantage of Marquis and all the members in the group. This is crazy. Let's continue.
And, you know, and just things that were going on, things that he was saying out of his mouth. You know, these guys are green. They're from California. I'm going to use them. I'm going to cross them. I'm going to nail them to the cross. You know, I picked up on all of that, but I couldn't convey that to Mr.MIXX because he was so much, you know, involved with Luke and thinking that Luke was his brother by Luke just bringing him down to doing his first show. He fell in love with Miami and Luke, and we were kind of at odds. But, you know, I tried to display honorable loyalty with Mr.MIXX by sticking with him, and I just was messing with a guy that was messing with the wrong guy. And basically that's just how it turned.
And that wrong guy that he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is the man you see to the left. That's Luke Campbell.
Tell the truth.
Doubt. Luke doesn't know anything about me. We never sit down and had really a conversation. I wasn't really asking him for a lot. I didn't really need him for anything. And it was just one of those kind of things. I was there mostly with Mr.MIXX than being there with Luke. You know, Luke, to me, was like a bully. He was like a bully. You know, Luke shot at me. You know, he locked me in the pack jam and shot.
Woo! Did you hear? I want y'all to examine something here. He said that Luke shot at him. In this right here, the daughter spoke of the mother being, oh my God, Luke used to beat my mom, allegedly by Luke Campbell saying this. A woman beat her. He abused. Yep, that was him. He even shot her in the. Did you hear? There is a pattern recognition here. There is a whatever your pattern of behavior, you will continue the same behavior. Why would Brother Marquis make a mention that Luke tried to shoot at him because Luke wanted to make him feel that he was crazy, that he was someone not to be messed with, not to be truffled with? You know, why would Luke do that to Brother Marquis? And then we hear the daughter, when she was on the Wiz 101.1 radio show, saying that he beat her mother and that he even shot at her. The daughter says that about what he did to the mother, allegedly. What he did to the mother, allegedly. That's what the daughter's talking about. And we've got Brother Marquis. I'm putting it two and two together, everybody. And we got Brother Marquis saying the same exact damn thing. So there got to be some truth in between this. As I have to say again, for the legal purposes of this video, this is what the daughter alleged, and this is what Brother Marquis is alleging on this interview. Wow. Let's hear this.
Luke, to me, was like a bully. He was like a bully. You know, Luke shot at me. You know, he locked me in the pack jam and shot at me with an AR-15 automatic.
Wow.
And full of blanks. And he sat back and laughed at it.
Wow. Are you crazy? He sat up back and laughed at it like this? Are you serious, Luke? And this is a man that had the audacity to get on the X Twitter spaces, y'all, and try to call out people, whether you like them or not, call out people like Tariq. He came down on Rizza Islam. He came down on Yvette Carnell. He kept going over and over about, you know, Minister Louis Farrakhan, whether Farrakhan is black enough when Rizza already told him why he is seen as part of us is because of what he has done for us. He went into the whole thing about Malcolm X. This man got on the Twitter spaces and acted like he has such a honorable background. And we're hearing horrible things coming from Marquis, who says that Luke Campbell shot at him with a blank weapon to scare him, to intimidate him, because he never did really care for him when he came from California, Los Angeles, California. And Luke never liked him and liked that. And then we hear the daughter, Lucretia Campbell, or at least in her writing, that was a transcript of her saying something from when she was on a radio show or some type of social media podcast. I'm going to say again, not to sound like I'm a fool here tonight, and everybody that's in the chat room, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel, everybody. I want to say like and comment when this video is over. We're almost near the conclusion, okay? Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to have lots of more hot content like this, and you don't want to miss it, so definitely subscribe to the channel. Share the video. You can hit the share button right now and send it to Twitter, Facebook right now, whatever you like. But do you hear, hit sevens in the chat room if you're with me and you agree with the premise of where I'm taking the show, because I'm slowly breaking this down little by little, but there's a pattern recognition here which says that this man, Luke, does not have his head on right. And if you don't have your head on right and you got some skeletons in your closet the way you conduct yourself towards your fellow black man and black woman, then you've got no right going into Twitter spaces trying to give black people in social media spaces smoke and tell us about what we doing and how we dividing the black community when you've been dividing those in your own ecosystem, your fam, your loved ones, and those that you're supposed to call your brothers as your artists, and those that you, man, God darn, Brother Marquis, may you rest in power, brother. Remember, Brother Marquis, a pioneer of Two Live Crew, rapper, died at age 58. The Miami hip-hop group drew controversy in the 80s, in the 90s. He passed away, but he dropped these jewels on us about this man. Let's continue.
What was that situation over?
Nothing. I think he just wanted to do that for me to think that he was kind of crazy and off of his rocker, and you know, he's not one to be, you know, messed up with. But yeah, they sat back and laughed at that like it was a big joke. And that was when we first got there. That was around the time that we were doing, I think that's right in between Nasty As We Want to Be and Move Something, when that took place. Keep in mind now, I've never seen Luther stand up to a man. I've only seen him fight women and children.
Oh my God. You just heard him say that when he first got there and when he first encountered being around Luke Campbell, he's only seen him put his hands on women and children. This is being alleged by the late, great Brother Marquis.
Tell the truth.
That you all put sevens in the chat room if you just heard what Brother Marquis said, that he only ever seen this man put his hands on women, not men, not grown-ass men, but women, and he alleged children. He's alleging this. I must say this for legal purposes. He is alleging this. Let's hear it again.
Right in between Nasty As We Want to Be and Move Something, when that took place. Keep in mind now, I've never seen Luther stand up to a man. I've only seen him fight women and children.
Just take that in, ladies and gentlemen. Only fighting women. And you know it was black women that he was fighting. Only fighting women and children. Just take that in. The character of a man. A character of a man says everything you need to know about a man. A man that tells you and me to vote for Kamala Harris in the Democratic Party when he told us a while back in his post, African Americans get nothing from the Democratic Party. All they do is use us for votes. Then another part of his post, this is back in 2016, 8/28, he says, I'm with Trump on this one. The Democratic Party don't give a damn about black people. Welcome to the Luke records. This is what he said not too long ago. Then he flips it. He flip-flops. Brother Marquis says that he has a habit of beating up on women and children. This is what Brother Marquis said, allegedly. And we're supposed to respect this man, to come to a Twitter space, to listen to him try to bring smoke to people. This man was hollering, telling everybody, bring your leader up here. Bring Tariq Nasheed up here. Bring him up here. Come on, bring him up here. Bring him up here. Why? And I'm going to be honest, I don't think RZA, Yvette Carnell, or anybody of any status, anybody should be on any Twitter space with him, listening to anything he has to say and adhering to him and letting him talk crap to you in the way he was talking crap on that Twitter space when this man has a dirty background. This man is not to be respected, in my opinion, and this man is not to be listened to. Any man that puts his hands allegedly on women and children and allegedly has children that call him a deadbeat, allegedly, and a daughter, Lucretia Campbell, who comes out and exposes this as well, when she went on a podcast at the Wiz, which is, I guess, a radio program. It's 101.1 The Wiz. And this right here, this is on the internet. This is a real website, a real web page with a real radio station where she spoke her mind about her father, Luther Campbell. This was back in June 9th, 2010, long time ago, but she spoke her truth. Wow, y'all. Let's continue.
Yeah, he did that. And I was like, kind of through with him, we come around, we were a joke to them, and it had got to the point to where, it had became unbearable when the band in the USA had came around. It was obvious what Luke was trying to do and what he did, and I guess we became a burden to him. Somewhere up in.
All right. We've got about 2 more video clips as we get close to conclusion. Everybody, thank you for rocking with the channel tonight. Make sure you hit the likes. Make sure you share this video in all your social media. If you're a content creator, drop it in your community tab. Let someone know. Really appreciate. I'm going to look at some of the things that people are saying in the chat room in just a moment. But let's go. Let me go ahead and see what we got going on in the chat room. Do you know that RZA was accused of? Yes, I know all about a RZA. Let me just let you know something right now, because I noticed you be leaving messages in my. I know about RZA, but this is not about RZA. I know about RZA being accused, him and his mother, of taking advantage of money for kids that had disabilities. Of course, I know he went to trial, and I guess they dismissed the case. Now, I don't know what all the details of why the case got dismissed, but it got dismissed. I'm not setting up here defending RZA. I'm talking about Luke Campbell and the fact that he has a nasty background. Now, I'm not defending Tariq. I'm not talking up for any of these folks and saying I'm a big fan of these folks, whether it be Yvette Carnell, any of these folks. I'm simply talking about what took place as Luke coming into the Twitter spaces, trying to call out certain people, and he's got a nasty background. I know about RZA. I don't even follow RZA, never have followed him. But for the purpose of this video and the other video that I did, I had to bring up the fact that when RZA did go over there to that Twitter space, Luke Campbell was very disrespectful in the fact that he was trying to speak up for the minister Louis Farrakhan. That's what I reported on, and I thought he was disrespectful to him. I thought he was disrespectful to Yvette Carnell, and there's a lot of people who don't like Yvette Carnell on these YouTube streets. So I already know what these people background are. You coming in and leaving these little messages, I know what their background is. I'm not a follower of RZA. I'm not trying to put him on a pedestal. I'm bringing RZA up because these are the individuals that Luke Campbell called out. But Luke Campbell is a hypocrite because he's got his own problems. So if you want to say that, you can say, well, Tariq has issues, right? People believe that Tariq is grifting the black community. People think that feel that Yvette Carnell has issues. There's people who don't like RZA. I already know this. But I'm not setting up here trying to put any of these people on a pedestal. Matter of fact, I did a video a long time ago. See, this was crazy. I did a video a long time ago about RZA when RZA got caught on audio when Farrakhan called RZA out for how he was treating a female that he was dating. I did a video on that, talking about it. Talking about RZA, exposing RZA was exposed by the minister. And I played the audio tape of the minister calling RZA out. So I don't need I'm going to be respectful. I know that you came in to inform me about RZA's background. I totally get it. I totally get that. But I've already done videos. I've already done a video about RZA when he got caught in a bad situation with a female that he was dating or supposed to be marrying. I called him out because Farrakhan himself called him out. And I did a video about it. And I know RZA and his mother got caught up in some type of some alleged scheme to defraud, and he went to trial some kind of way. They dismissed it. Let me know why they dismissed that case against him. Let me know why that happened. What was the circumstances that made that possible? Yeah, be safe for the holidays, everybody. I agree with that. Enjoy your holidays. Be safe. And I'm going to let it be known, too. Let people speak. Long as people are not rude. Don't start timing people out. Don't start blocking people if they're not saying things that's rude. If they're just expressing how they feel, as that sister expressed her feelings, let them express their feelings, and then we can talk about it. But if a person comes in and they're being rude, nasty, being personable, then you get rid of them, then you block them. But other than that, just like on my first channel, the Information Man Show, I like to have a chat room where people can speak their mind. I don't want fighting in the chat room. Please do not go back and forth with each other in the chat room. I understand that people have different points of views. Okay, that's great. But don't get personal and throw personal shots. If you do that, then that's when you have to go. That's when the mods have to get rid of you. No personal stuff. But you can speak upon stuff like what she spoke upon about RZA being accused of a woman by I get it. By Farrakhan. Yes, that's that video that you're talking about, him being accused. I did a video on that when he accused RZA in the way he went about handling a female that he was involved with. I know what you're talking about. I did a video about that. In the past. Let me see. We can't compare RZA to Luke. There's no comparison. Well, I'm not going to compare. You know, everybody's got their issues. But tonight, I'm making a point about Luke because Luke decided to call out a bunch of people on social media. Because this is really all about, what did I say in the other video, everybody? Let me see. CRU is saying facts. I hardly ever have to use my ranch only for outright disrespect. Yeah, if a person's outright disrespect, then you get rid of them. But everybody should be able to speak their mind in a very intelligent way. I'm not expecting everybody to agree with everything that I'm saying or agree with everybody's points because, like I said before, black people are not a monolith. We don't all think alike. We all have different experiences. And I can respect that. And I can respect first to left, the sister that came in first to left. I can respect her thoughts. She leaves messages on my comments in my comment section of my videos. And I think the reason why she leaves these comments because she wants me to think. She wants to give me additional information about people that I may be talking about or have not talked about. And I appreciate that, sister. Don't stop leaving comments and don't stop giving your opinion. And if I came at you in a disrespectful way, I don't mean to do that. I apologize. I don't mean to, come at you in a harsh manner. But keep doing what you're doing because this is how we get better and this is how we continue to grow in our mind intellectually. I really appreciate everybody that's here tonight. Let me continue because we're getting ready to go into conclusion. I have kept you all what's going on, Peppy? Word up. He says word up. I like this, brother. This is a good brother right here. Word up to you as well, brother. Let me see. We got my man Black Polo in the house. What's going on, brother? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel, brother. Respect to you. Much respect to you. And let me see what Brother Polo was saying right here. He said this right here. What have Luke done for the community? Some of the stuff people say. Well, what I've heard is that Luke has been involved with youth football. I think on his Instagram, he was in the car driving, talking about he was going somewhere in Florida to work with some type of group that's run by black women. So, I mean, he's probably doing some things in the community in Florida. And I'm not gonna question any of that. He's probably doing some stuff. But at the same time that he's doing good deeds in today's time in the state of Florida, we certainly know that he has a past in which the very members of a two-lie crew, a rap group that he was a part of, or at least he was managing, they don't have a lot of great things to say about the guy. And then his own family has called him out. Like I said, there's accusations about him being a woman beater. There's accusations from his daughter, Lucretia Campbell, saying that she watched him beat her mother and even tried to shoot at her, allegedly. And then we have Brother Marquis saying that he even tried to shoot at him with a blink gun. This is crazy stuff. Let's get back to this as we get close to conclusion, everybody. Let's get back to this right here. Oh, boy. Let me make sure I got the right. Is this the right one I got to put up here? Let's go.
The Chronic comes out. And Dre and Snoop ended up dissing Luke. And that situation kind of culminates in Miami, where Death Row and Luke's crew ends up getting this huge brawl.
Woo. Let's go back to that. Sorry about that, folks. And here we go.
Which you were actually there when it happened.
Yeah, I think that was in Orlando, but I had left Luke. And, I have ties to Los Angeles, so that sort of thing I'm not getting involved with. I have to go to LA. I have, my favorite aunts out there, my cousins. So I have to go to California. So, let Luke do that. I don't even know why Luke even started dissing Dr. Dre and Snoop in the first place. I don't even know why that happened. I don't even know why that happened.
Right. I heard that a lot of knives got pulled out that day.
I didn't see the actual brawl, but I saw all the commotion. But
how many of you all remember? Does anybody in the chat room, can you recall what Brother Marquis is saying here about a brawl and a fight and the whole beef between Dr. Dre, NWA, Snoop Dogg, and Luke Campbell? If you remember this whole issue, this whole dust up, put sevens in the chat room, everybody. I appreciate that. This is crazy. We're almost near the conclusion.
Knowing Luke, at one point in time, we were in St. Louis. We were on tour with NWA. And so for some strange reasons, the girls that we had at that time, like any other girl that would be around Easy and Dr. Dre, would end up in their room. So, Luke, I think Luke was one of the first rap executives to have a private plane. So we flew into St. Louis. Anyway, the girls spent the night, our dancers spent the night with Dr. Dre and them, and Luke left them.
Woo,
basically, Luke left them.
Wait a minute. Woo. I wonder. Woo. Everybody, I wonder if these are the girls that he's talking about, Brother Marquis. I wonder if these are the women who were the dancers for Two Live Crew. Maybe, I think they are. And these would be the women who had an appetite for Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Doggy Dog, Doggy Style. And they would have an appetite for of course, Dr. Dre and the rest of the NWA. Dog catcher, get the dog catcher, woo! These must be the girls that he's talking about that wanted to spend the night in the company of the West Coast rappers from the west side of LA. They wanted the company of those brothers versus the company, and I just got to keep it real, versus the company of the lizard man. They wanted the company. They didn't want his company. They wanted the company of the West Side Brothers. Interesting, Marquis. Let's continue, y'all. If y'all enjoying the program tonight as we get close to conclusion, put the 7s in the chat room and make sure before we end this that you begin to hit your share button and send this to your Facebook, your Twitter, or X as we call it. And I really appreciate everybody in the chat room. I'll give you a clap. I give y'all a clap, a thunderous clap like this. Woo. All right. This is crazy. Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it. Let's continue.
I don't know, it's hard to say what's going on with Luke and how he's thinking, but I don't know where that came from, but I know that, on my side of the family, that they and they were LA guys for real. They wasn't too much digging Luke, none of my family kind of liked Luke, and and when he,
wow, none of his family liked Luke. Most of the folks in LA area didn't like Luke. This is crazy, y'all.
When my family would show up to some events to try to support me, he would always say something slick. He would always, say something pertaining to, like he's fucking us around, he's fucking me around, and try to make fun of the whole situation. So my LA side of the family really didn't like Luke. And, they, how LA is, my folks come from, 83rd and Hoover and Figueroa, and how all that whole shit goes. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So, it really didn't. I'm having to cool my guys off because they ready to, they like, yeah, we don't like Luke, we don't like him, and blah, 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 blah. And, he'll have problems every time he come to California. As a matter of fact, if it wasn't for you, he wouldn't be leaving now.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, you hear what he just said. If it wasn't for Marquis, he would not be leaving probably alive. And this is the thing that people don't get about Los Angeles, and you better get it right now. When you come to the West Coast, particularly Los Angeles in particular, but the West Coast in general, people get caught up in the nice scenery, the palm trees, the nice manicured yards, the suburban areas of California. Of course, there's some hood areas as well. But I think people come here and they think that we're punks out here, and you will get hurt real bad in California. I don't care where the hell you come from. I don't care if you're from New York. I don't care if you're from the toughest place. I don't even care if you're from Chicago. You come out to the Los Angeles area, you've been seeing what's been happening to rappers that come out here and things happen to them. LA is not a place to come out to and play around in. You will get put down. We have a gang culture in California, particularly in the LA area, as one of the places, but throughout California. And you come out here, you get to talking. I remember, what was that? Rapper 2 Chainz came out to San Francisco. And them boys in San Francisco will rob your ass. I know. I grew up in San Francisco, lived in Oakland. 2 Chainz and his crew came out there and thought they was bad and tough, and they got their asses ran out of Frisco. We call it Frisco. I'm telling you, you get sucked in by the scenery and you think, oh, this place is real. I can do whatever I want here and get over on these folks. You'll get hurt real bad. Let's continue.
And boom, boom, boom. I guess Luke kind of caught wind of that and came out with the Cowards in Compton shit. But that shit was meaningless because Dr. Dre and Ice Cube and them at that time, they were cool. I used to always be in their room with them. I used to always be hanging out with NWA. They was cool. We were on tour together. So I don't know where Luke came up with that shit from. As just like I don't know where he come up with all this other shit. That just started, I guess, because they were big at the time and Luke was jealous and he wanted to get some clout off of.
What did I say earlier in this program? That Luke is only about Luke. There's a certain level of jealousy that this brother has. And as Brother Marquis is saying, he was jealous of NWA, Dr. Dre, the whole situation that was happening out here in the West Coast. Because at that time, remember, the West Coast was popping. A lot of the best music and artists were coming up in the West Coast, and the West Coast was reclaiming recognition. This is crazy, though. I gotta be honest with y'all. It's crazy.
Them, basically. And we were from California as well. California as well. So it could have been one of them things like fuck California and fuck who's ever hot out there at that time.
Right. Remember, I mentioned earlier in this podcast that most of the members of the Two Live crew were from California, except for Luke Campbell. He's from the Miami area. But let's continue.
You know.
All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for our last video tonight, this is going to take us on home as we get ready to conclude tonight's program. Really appreciate you all being here. Let's go forth and make this last video happen. And here we go, y'all. Peace to everybody in the chat room. I really appreciate everybody tonight.
When this came out, what was the initial reaction?
Now let me set this up for you. Right here, he's being asked the questions about that song that they came out with back in the day, talking about, hey, I want some coochie, you know, the P word, hey, I want some pee. Y'all know what the word is, the kitty cat stuff. And that was a song that, I mean, it took off for them. And this is where he's going to kind of talk about, I think this is where Brother Marquis is going to express the fact that he never really was fond of the type of lyrical music that they were doing. Let me see if this is where he's going to go. Here we go.
Well, with me, I didn't like doing that style of rap. You know what I mean? I was, calling myself being on something kind of conscience and like more New Yorkish, more hip hopish. And I really wasn't.
So you hear right there, Brother Marquis originally, he's telling the truth. He's giving it to you. He's giving you the truth right there that he never really subscribed to what they were doing and always really wanted to be more on a conscious tip of rap music, more hip hop type, more metaphorical and conscious type of rap music is really what he desired to do. But he went with it because, it was selling. And he'll tell you in his own words.
Comfortable with all the profanity that we were putting into the music. But I guess once it had, when you see the reaction from it, in the community and everybody's loving it, you kind of go with it, you kind of go with it. So, yeah, it was one of the front running songs that kind of started everything, for Two Live.
Woo, boy, it's been a hell of a night, everybody. Everybody, if you've enjoyed the program, you've gotten something out of the program tonight, maybe this program has reinforced things that you already were aware of. Maybe this program tonight opened your eyes to some things that you did not know. But leave good comments in the comment section of this video. Whenever you get an opportunity, I definitely would appreciate that because I will read the comments. I do read the comments. I do appreciate when people leave comments. And wow, it's been a hell of a night on these YouTube streets, right, everybody? Once again, this video had to be done because Luke Campbell is a hypocrite. To go after people on these social media streets and try to dictate terms to us. And he didn't even get it right with his own so-called brothers that he was making music with. coming over into our spaces trying to give us smoke when this man's got issues in his own personal life. So I want to know how do you all feel about this, as this man has trying to convince us that we need to vote for Kamala. I think that everybody should vote for who they want to vote for. I'm not a big fan of Kamala Harris or, should I say, Donald Trump. I'm not a fan of Donald Trump. We know that they want to get into that White House that was built by black slaves of lineage to this land in this country. We built this country. Our ancestors built this country with no compensation, which is why reparations is a must and is needed. Most definitely. Anybody that thinks different, you need to have your head examined if you don't think that black people in this country who went through shackle slavery do not deserve to have reparations. It's just funny to me how Luke at one point in time was saying some of the same things that you hear many of us say on social media about what the hell has the Democratic Party done for black people. He said it right here. And even right here, I'm just giving you guys some reminders. He even said it right here. I'm with Trump on this one. The Democrat Party don't give a damn about black people. How did he go from that to telling black people this right here?
Message to all black men who left the Democratic Party for the MAGA Party. I'm going to offer you this one-time opportunity to come back. You can come back. You have until...
So again, how does he go from that to saying this right here? African Americans get nothing from the Democratic Party. All they do is use us for our vote. And he says he agreed with Trump about them not giving a damn about black people on this one right here. And all of this back and forth, as I said in the other video on the Twitter Spaces, is all centered around Luke Campbell trying to get black people to do his bidding, which is to vote the way he wants us to vote. And then you get people like Plies telling black people that we shouldn't be asking Kamala Harris what we get for our vote. That's the most foolish thing that anybody can say. And as I close out tonight, I'm going to play it one more time because I think it needs to be drilled home with all of us one more time. I'm going to play it one more time about what the great man himself said, Malcolm X.
I just told you a little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the black community by the white community and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get ready to get on out of here. Y'all have a great night, and I'll see you soon with another video, another breakdown. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Share the video in all your social media. I appreciate you in the chat room, those who are listening. I really do. I'm going to get ready to get on out of here, and we'll be back at it again. Remember, a lot of the videos on this channel are uploaded videos as well. And I usually do these live videos like this occasionally on a Saturday night, every now and then, especially when there's a hot button issue. So once again, I want to say thank you, and y'all definitely have a blessed evening and have a safe Labor Day. Peace.
moving too fast. How did I get so attached? I'm trying to see where you at and you wanna match. Cause I'm feeling you and I'm trying to know the truth. Is it you, the one I'm trying to hold on to? Open your eyes this time. Light it. So I finished what you started. I placed me where your heart is. What is this feeling? Almost like I'm dreaming. Keep you in my pocket. On your chest just like a locket. What you have, I think I need that. Let you take control. Show me how it goes. Keep letting you know till we both grow old. You got me on my knees, begging you please. I'm not trying to make a scene, just want you and me. You belong with me. Open your eyes. The light is don't close your eyes. Hold up, I'm moving too fast. How did I get so attached? I'm trying to see where you at and you wanna match. Cause I'm feeling you and I'm trying to know the truth. Is it you, the one I'm trying to hold on to? Open your eyes this time. Light it. So I finished what you started. I placed me where your heart is. What is this feeling? Almost like I'm dreaming. Keep you in my pocket. On your chest just like a locket. What you have, I think I need that. Let you take control. Show me how it goes. Keep letting you know till we both grow old. You got me on my knees, begging you please. I'm not trying to make a scene, just want you and me. You belong with me. Open your
You've been listening to Info Media Reacts. Thank you for watching the program tonight. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, share the video, like the video. Until next time, everybody have a great weekend, tell someone you love them, and we'll be back with more presentation.
Tell the truth.